My name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. If ever you have questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can interact with others on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course, use the contact form to email me directly. And if you're already on YouTube, use the comments box down below. And if you want to get these episodes 24 to 48 hours in advance of everyone else, and of course, benefit from helping me out with the show, making it better, go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly and become a patron today. And this week's topic is about warrants and data storage locations, or more specifically, your rights on your data and how governments and countries can access your data. This is a very important case because it has to do with Microsoft versus the American government agencies, more specifically because it was a drug thing, probably the DEA and FBI. So first of all, warrants are a legal paper authorized and signed by a judge requiring a person or a company to comply to a specific list of predetermined demands, usually in response to a specific case, persons, or company. And that's how most countries out there legally request information and seize property in the attempt to solve crimes and deal with other criminal activities. Last week, American company Microsoft won a case against the feds when the court found, citing the SCA warrant rules, it does not hold legal entitlement for internationally held information and items that are held outside of the continental United States permanently. It does not transition through the United States, therefore it cannot be requested. The original warrant was served in 2013 as part of a drug investigation, and he attempted to use an SCA warrant in order to acquire a whole bunch of stuff, which Microsoft complied with, but Microsoft is not a bunch of stupid people. They actually contested the information stored physically outside the United States in Ireland, citing that the warrant did not have jurisdictional legality, which is actually true. A lower court actually found them in contempt, but vacated this, meaning they basically threw out the contempt charge and stated that the Microsoft had no remaining lawful obligation to produce materials to the government. Basically because, technically speaking, Microsoft had given everything that they had to give under the warrant that was applicable geographically. So what was actually held in the United States? The American government, police agencies specifically, we all know this, are a bunch of effing kids when it comes to losing access to information, so they actually contested this. However, again, Second Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the lower court findings, which only allow for domestically held data to be handed over when a warrant is served, to which I would like to mention there are actually treaties in place that allow governments to legally request information and property internationally, which the feds did not start with, but have probably undertaken since. Needless to say, the FBI or DEA in this case, or any other police agency responsible for this, wasted their time on something that they say is of timely importance. When police agencies say that they're doing investigations and they go through specific steps to have a more timely result to actually deal with crimes and criminal activity faster, we can understand why they would want to do so. What ends up happening is this brute force bullying of companies to your own property. A lot of this happening behind your back, by the way. And here is the takeaway. Provided with the knowledge that warrants for domestic requests will have to be and will be enforced for domestic acquisitions only, knowing also fair well that you may or may not ever hear about your data ever being requested and being handed over, would you go out of the way to find out if your data is being held outside the continental zone of your country, knowing fair well that even with treaties out there that allow for acquisition of information and other items, that there will be entire having to jump through hoops in order to get it, so that basically your rights as a citizen, as well as the rights of your information, will have to actually be upheld. Basically speaking, because Microsoft did this we all have our eyes staring at the American federal police agencies, basically looking at it saying, well, if it went down any other way, the person or persons in this case could turn around and just say the data was seized illegally because your warrant does not extend outside the boundaries of the country. Would you go through the entire trouble of getting your information stored outside of your country if you knew that is one of the ways you could defend yourself and therefore push towards your digital rights and privacy at the same time? Because you could send your data to a different server in a different country using an encrypted means, which means they would have to actually query the server owner with a warrant correctly through the proper channels in order to access them. Otherwise, they would have to sit there trying to decode the information. What do you think about this? Drop it down in the comments below. And if you got this as a downloadable podcast, you can actually go to tqaweekly.com/se6ep44 to either drop the comments on that page or to follow the link to YouTube and drop it on that page as well. Don't forget to like, dislike, and share this episode with those that you think can benefit with this. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching. And if you want to make this show better, go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly. Thank you for watching. Bye.